dissolution of the planet as cited with Christ's blood being sponged by the earth, swallowed, digested, was the beginning for the development of this differentiation between divine love and divine wrath. And we're looking from that point backwards. That's why we have, though it be displaced and neuroticized and overly patriarchal and in a lot of senses humiliating and abusive, the history of the church, or rather we might just say the obsession with Christ, is an expression of proof, of power. Despite attempts at co-opting or redirecting the alchemy of the planet says, I'm smarter than you. Ha! And I will displace your aggressions into my own evolution. And you will be a component of my integrating structure. I have no moral judgment upon you. You are accounted for. And so this chapter ends with John describing the angel descending. This, what is depicted in the book as the fourth seal, it's the two pillars of the alchemical transformation. We have Mars and the water, the power principle, and Mercury and the earth. What we have is the reversal of that. And what I mean to say is that when this began, when we shifted into our egoic becoming after Christ, we were moving from the middle of our own epoch. Thus, we were shifting from the power, Mars, water-based paradigm into the wisdom, Mercury, moon-based earth, moon and earth-based paradigm. And that's why you have the opposites. Mars and the sun is the fire, and it's clothed in water, so that the alchemy is good. And then halfway through the epoch we shift, and we have the Mercury and the moon, which are these water-based elements, and they're clothed in earth. They are the earth principle. And so what we have is the clay that makes being become. And John saw this angel, and one pillar, and the legs were pillars of fire, and there was a cloud that served as the chest, and the head was composed of a sun, and it had its arms extended, and in the arms it was holding a book, and it offered the book to John, and John pointed and said, "May I eat it?" And he said, "Yes, you may eat it. It will taste like honey on your lips, but your stomach will find it quite bitter." And John ingested this book, the book being love and the teachings of the Anointed One and the egoic inner freedom of our individualized yet planetary becoming. And he ingested it, and it was sweet to his tongue, and he was beside himself, yet his stomach wrenched. And Steiner accounts for this. Why John writes it this way is because when higher when higher spiritual forms descend into denser, grosser matter, this necessitates a pressing against, a pushing down and away from of. It makes one feel as if they've gone straight up in a rocket plane, and there is not time for the body to account for how to calibrate. The stomach twists, and let us not miss the addendum to this vision of John, this fourth seal of the apocalypse, this as a hallucination, as Terence McKenna would say, as a true hallucination, as as we imbue the power of the becoming to become with our vision of it. And what happens when you ingest something that is of the earth and traditionally practiced by many shamanic tribes throughout the planet, and also quite closely mirrors our brain chemistry, if not exactly the chemicals found within our brains? Well, our stomachs turn over. Ask any ayahuasquero. Your stomach hurts, and yet your mouth is sweet. And this is because you are calibrating on a higher plane of existence. It's manifest in a matter that you've ingested, but this is a vehicle. This is yet a symbol of the expression. It is not the expression itself. It is a tutorial in the chant. It is not the sound the chant makes. It's not sounding forth from oneself per se. This process of reaching up and feeling the pain of the stretch is the necessary force of growth. And so John ate this book, and it was good in his stomach. And this angel that gave him this book of love, the illumination of mankind, holding this book of love on the cloud, the spiritual stream of Philadelphia from our sixth epoch, standing on the firmament of earth and water, and our transfer from the latter half of our 7-whole epoch cycle back in reverse to the water side again, back to the blurry, back through the other end and out the other side. Thank you for listening to this podcast by Big Joe Buck. For more information, please visit www.bigjoebuck.blogspot.com.